20 years waiting, Dinar and Dong RV goes live. Private bank exchanges begin. RV News 2025, with the intro for your channel RV News, included and written in paragraph form without headings. Welcome back to RV News, the only channel committed to delivering you daily, real-time updates on the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong revaluation, global economic shifts, and the truth that others won't tell you. If you've been following this journey for the past few years or even the past few decades, then you already know what today means. This is the moment so many of us have been patiently, and at times painfully, waiting for. After 20 long years of speculation, rumors, false starts, and crushed hopes, it's finally happening. Yes, you heard that right. The revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong is officially going live. And as of this morning, private bank exchanges have quietly begun under highly confidential protocols. The whispers have turned into action, and we're here to bring you every verified detail as it unfolds in real time. Now, let's rewind just a bit. For those who have recently joined the RV community or are new to this historic movement, the IQD and VND revaluation has long been projected as a once-in-a-lifetime financial reset of global adjustment in currency values aimed at restoring parity, equity, and stability to countries that have suffered decades of war, sanctions, and manipulation. Iraq, once one of the wealthiest nations in the Middle East, saw its dinar crippled after years of invasion and economic chaos. Vietnam, on the other hand, with its booming industrial growth and untapped resources, has kept its currency artificially low to attract foreign investments. But as we move into a new phase of international transparency and financial rebalancing, both currencies have now reached a tipping point, and as of July 2, 2025, the new era has officially begun. Today's news isn't based on speculation. Multiple sources from within Tier 1 private banking institutions have confirmed that private exchanges of IQD and VND have started across select branches, including HSBC, Chase Private Client, Wells Fargo, Wealth Management, and some regional credit unions participating in Tier 4B redemptions. According to verified reports, these exchanges are by appointment only, heavily secured, and are taking place under non-disclosure agreements. But even with strict security, details have emerged. Exchange rates being offered are significantly higher than previously expected, with the IQD showing an in-bank screen rate of approximately $4.41 per D, and the Vietnamese Dong being exchanged at an astonishing 47 cents to 52 cents, depending on quantity and tare. These numbers are not placeholders, they are active, live rates being processed behind the scenes. Let that sink in for a moment. If you've held even a modest amount, say 10 million dinar or 20 million dong, you are now sitting on a life-altering transformation of wealth. For some, this means retirement. For others, it means generational legacy planning. And for many, it means the fulfillment of promises, the payment of debts, and the realization that holding on to hope for 2 decades was worth it. This is the kind of moment that doesn't just change individual lives, it shifts the course of history. The question now is, what's next? Well, according to our trusted insiders, we are in what they're calling the private redemption wave. 1. This phase is limited to pre-approved individuals, including large holders, military veterans, humanitarian applicants, and long-time currency holders who have been flagged for early redemption. Many of these individuals received emails, phone calls, or encrypted communications over the past 72 hours, guiding them to secure locations for their exchanges. These redemptions are being processed in quiet centers, mobile exchange hubs, and secured bank vault offices, many of which are operating around the clock in major financial cities like Atlanta, Dallas, New York, London, and Dubai. But here's where it gets even more real. Alongside these private exchanges, we're also seeing the activation of new digital banking platforms that are designed specifically to handle the new QFS or quantum financial system that is now believed to be live and interfacing with international banking networks. This isn't just about new rates. This is about a shift from old, fiat-based systems into an asset-backed blockchain-secured model. We've received screenshots, testimonies, and even partial footage showing new ledger interfaces that no longer reflect the legacy SWIFT system, but instead use ISO 20022 compliant protocols. Another major sign that this global financial reset is not just theoretical, it's happening in real time. In fact, several Tier 1 banks have quietly updated their internal memos and training protocols, instructing staff on how to process new rate updates, how to handle confidentiality compliance, and how to direct eligible clients to designated redemption advisors. These memos also indicate higher call volume for wealth management appointments, which lines up with the surge of confirmed appointments we're seeing across the US and Europe. One bank manager in Texas, who spoke anonymously, confirmed that multiple redemptions were finalized on July 1st, and that new exchange appointments are scheduled every 30 minutes for the next 14 days. This lines up exactly with previous intel that suggested the initial wave would take about 2 to 3 weeks to process before the public rollout begins. But here's something even more critical: the rates are live, but they won't be forever. We've been told that private redemption rates are part of a limited-time contract agreement, designed to reward early holders and those who kept faith during the darkest times. Once the public rollout occurs, which is expected within 10 to 14 business days, the rates may be significantly lower, or may even move to a floating, market-driven value. This means that if you've been holding your IQD or VND and are ready, now is the moment to pay close attention. This isn't the time to hesitate, it's the time to act wisely, cautiously, and with preparation. Many of you have been asking, how do I know if I'm eligible for a private exchange? Here's what we've learned. If you've registered with Tier 4B exchange groups in the past, such as through Wells Fargo, HSBC notifications, or international RV alliances, there's a strong chance you're already in the system. You may receive a secure email with a redemption code, an 800 number, or a scheduling link. For others, humanitarian project submissions or legacy trust accounts may trigger an invitation. And in some cases, trusted advisors and intel contacts are reaching out to individuals directly to schedule their appointments. If none of this applies to you, yet don't worry. The public phase is coming next. Stay prepared with your identification, purchase receipts if available, and know the rates you're willing to accept. Having a clear strategy now could make the difference between a rushed decision and long-term financial success. Let's talk briefly about the mood within the global financial world right now. Markets are shaken. Hedge fund managers are confused. Currencies around the globe are fluctuating. And central banks are suspiciously silent. Why? Because this shift wasn't supposed to happen in this order. The powers that be didn't expect the revaluation to go live so suddenly and with such secrecy. But here it is happening without their press conferences, without their Wall Street analysis, without the IMF shouting from the rooftops. This is a people-powered movement, and you, the holders of IQD and VND, are finally stepping into your moment of empowerment. As of this hour, private bank exchanges are being documented in Australia, Canada, Germany, the UAE, and even in select African nations, showing that this is truly a global operation, not confined to US soil. And while many details remain under gag order for those who have exchanged, the energy is undeniable. This is no longer a drill. This is history in the making. To those of you who have been mocked, doubted, ridiculed, or even disowned for believing in this moment, today is your day of vindication. For the retirees who held on instead of cashing out early, for the veterans who believed this was part of a bigger military-backed shift, for the families who prayed for this to rescue them from D2, we're right. And we, as a community, have every reason to stand tall and celebrate with humility, with wisdom, and with discernment. But don't forget, this is also the beginning. With great change comes great responsibility. For those now exchanging, remember to work with trusted financial professionals. Set up proper tax structures. Avoid reckless spending. Focus on your long-term vision, not just your short-term desires. This RV isn't just about financial gain, it's about economic liberation, spiritual growth, and building a better world for those who come after us. We'll be monitoring exchange updates in real time and bringing you confirmed intel as it drops. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and check our community tab daily for time-sensitive updates, exchange tips, and location confirmations. The next few days are critical, and our team is working 24/7 to ensure you get the most accurate, verified news available. To summarize, the RV is real, and yes, it's happening now. The IQD and VND revaluation has officially begun. Private bank exchanges are live, new rates are being processed, and Tier 4B is being called in waves. This is not a rumor. This is not hype. This is the moment we've waited 20 years for, and it's unfolding right before our eyes. Stay grounded, stay informed, and most of all, stay ready. This is RV News, your #1 source for reliable